Welcome to Stormwater Drainage Solutions, and in today's video we're going to be talking about a couple of the new fittings that the French Drain Man, Robert Sherwood, designed. Now these fittings are ridiculously over-engineered. I mean, when you talk about the engineering triangle, every point on that triangle just says over-engineered with these fittings. So we're going to be talking about his new 4x4x4 Wye. And we're also going to talk a little bit about the new 6" by 6" by 4 tee. Now, these tees, I can see a couple really cool applications with this. So let me go ahead and we're going to start off by showing you this Wye fitting in action with water flowing through it, and we're going to compare it with an average Wye fitting. Now, that's not to say an average Wye fitting is not good, because they are, but I can definitely see this coming in handy on some very important applications. Let's go ahead and get started. When we compare an average Wye fitting to the new French Drain Man Wye, the first thing I want to point out here is if you look inside, there is an extra piece of plastic here that acts as a diverter to help keep the water controlled better and keep the flow more consistent, and to help debris get funneled through this line better. Now, this was a very interesting design. The other thing that's interesting about this fitting is it is smaller than your average Wye fitting. As you can see, your average Wye is a little bit longer than the new French Drain Man Wye. So in certain applications, when we're working in tight quarters, when the trench is small and we can't dig any extra because maybe there's utility lines or something in the area, this could come in handy to help save us space. I'm going to be showing you a demonstration between these two Wyes. Now watch, I'm going to dump a 5-gallon bucket down the lateral line. I just did right there. You saw that influx of water that's entering the main. Now compare that to the next one. And I want you guys to make up your own mind and give me your opinion in the comment section below of what you think about the fluid dynamics between these two Wye fittings. Now the French Drain Man Wye, in my opinion, it does control the water a little bit better than the average Wye. That extra piece of plastic in there that acts as the diverter, that does seem to help. Now, I also believe that that's going to help make debris travel through the main line a little bit better. So let me know what you think in the comments below. Now here is an angle looking down the main line into the lateral dumping in. Now this is the average Wye fitting. There was that influx of water right there, and it flows pretty well. Like I stated earlier, there's nothing wrong with using average Wyes. We use them every single day. But having this new French Drain Man Wye in our arsenal as another tool is going to help us out on the job sites in certain situations and using it in certain applications. Let's talk about this 6x6 by 4" tee. So basically, whenever you would use this tee would be in an application where you have a 6" main line and you're running a 6" main through the side of a house, and you're collecting downspouts, you're collecting catch basins, you're collecting a lot of water that's got to be moved, and it's got to be taken to wherever you're trying to take that water to. And a 4" line just can't handle that. In Florida, the amount of water that we get within a 15 to 20 minute rain is insane. And if it rains longer than that, if you live here, then you know what I'm talking about. The amount of water that dumps down is astronomical. It overwhelms 4" pipes. Depending on how many downspouts you have on just one 4" pipe, it can easily overwhelm that here. So a lot of times we will run a 6" main, depending on the size of the roof, the length of the gutter run that's being collected, and how many downspouts is going to be on that one line, and if there's going to be catch basins or a channel drain or anything else that's going to be dumping into that system. More than likely, we're going to want to up it to a 6" main. A lot of variables play a role in the determination that we make before we determine, like, okay, yeah, we need to up this to a 6" main, because if we don't, we're going to be getting callbacks, because that water is going to be spewing out of the downspout risers. It's going to be bubbling out of the catch basins. It's just not going to be able to handle the water that we receive here in Florida. So what I like about this fitting here, other than it being overly engineered and super strong. So I can put this fitting in areas that I know there's going to be, let's say, golf carts driving over that area, or, you know, heavy riding lawnmowers constantly going in and out of that area through a gate, because we can't put the line out of the way because there's just not enough space. So that's the first thing I like about this fitting. The other thing I like about this fitting is where the lateral, the 4-inch lateral here comes in. So it comes in a spot where you can either use it like this in your trench, or you can use it like that in your trench. You can get different heights with this, and I like that. Now, I can see a few other applications for this. Let's say we're going really deep and we need to drop something down, but we need to be up against the wall, or we're in like a tight space, and that line, that lateral line, is going to be dropping down a wall. I can put this up against that wall, up against that footer, a lot easier with this lateral being right down here at the base. So there's a lot of different applications that I can really see a good use for this. And this is really gonna be its own video. Once we start installing these and putting them in some special applications, I'll make a video showing it. And the other thing I love about these fittings is these prongs. These prongs are ridiculously strong. Once that pipe is snapped in here, you're not getting it out. The only way you're getting it out is you're gonna have to take a screwdriver, and you're gonna have to go through each one of these and push this prong up and pull the pipe out as you push the prong up. Other than that, you're not getting it out. So these are awesome. I can't wait to start putting some of these in the ground. Now, granted, if we're catching a lot of water and we're at the end of our run, we still are probably going to utilize a Y fitting, especially if it's a lot of water dumping in all at once. But at the beginning of a run, or for catch basins, for stuff that the water is not going to be traveling as fast, using a T fitting is not a big deal. Because you have to remember, on a 6-inch main line, on that trunk line, there's so much area in there that water is going to travel pretty freely once it enters in there. But if it's a lot of water all at once, or if I know there's going to be a lot of debris coming down a specific lateral line, then I would stick with a Y fitting. It all just depends on the application. It really depends on the situation, the application, the job site, just what we're doing. So, but this is awesome. All right, guys, well, I hope you enjoyed this video and you gained some knowledge from watching it. And if you did, give us a thumbs up. It really supports us. It helps the channel out. And if you live in the Tampa Bay area and you want stormwater drainage solutions to come to your home or property and assess the situation and design a system that's going to last you a lifetime with high quality materials, give us a call at 813-614-3456. And until next time, this is SWDS signing off.